Hello and welcome to Handmade by Sally Bora's YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be showing you the stitch that I use to make my beanie hats, and it is called the half double crochet. It is the next level up from the single crochet, and I'm going to be showing you how to make it in a continuous round. So for this tutorial, you'll need some stitch markers. Now I have these special locking stitch markers by Clover that I absolutely love, but you can also just use any kind of scrap yarn that you have lying around and that you can like cut and draw through each of those rounds to mark the end of the round. You just want to be sure that it's something that you can pull out and then insert into each successive round. So we're going to be working in multiples of 8 and just gradually increasing the hat size until we reach the 8th round, and then we're going to be working in 1/2 double crochet in each stitch around for a few more rows, and then we're finishing off with a single crochet round. This hat here is made in a worsted weight or medium number 4 weighted yarn, and for it I used my H hook. From Clover Amour. I absolutely love these hooks because it the tip is not as bulky to try to get through the yarn, and the hook is not as like grabby so that it doesn't like fray the yarn. And to assist with some of this, I'm also going to still be using that great Joann's Big Twist textile yarn that is that one loop, but since it is a jumbo super bulky jumbo yarn, I'm going to be using my end hook for this. Now I will be making the pattern as though it's using that Red Heart with Love yarn, but it's going to be in this super bulky stitch, so it's going to be an incredibly jumbo hat. It's going to fit a giant, not necessarily a person. I'm also going to show you how to start it off using an adjustable magic ring method instead of a chain, circle, or anything or something like that. So it's essentially like making an adjustable knot, like making a slip knot, but it's just without the knot. So we're going to be, instead we're going of 2, we're going to be using 3 fingers, and we're going to be leaving a pretty good sized bit of yarn for the tail. We're going to be yarning over and creating that cross. We're going to be inserting our hook and pulling up that working yarn, and now you're going to see that there's this tail that's in this loop, and we're going to be working our stitches over that tail. So we want to make 8 half double crochet into that loop, and we want to make them over both of these strands in order for the working end and the tail, in order for this adjustable ring to work. So we're chaining 1 to sort of lock that starting position in place. That doesn't count as a stitch. It's just a sort of placeholder. So this is our first stitch, and this is how you make a half double crochet. So okay, instead of just inserting it and making a single crochet, you're yarning over, and with that yarn over, you're inserting your hook under those two strands, and then you're yarning over again, and you're drawing that loop through too. And now it looks like you have those 3 loops on your hook, and you yarn over again, and that loop you pull through all of those 3 loops, so that then you just have that 1 loop on your hook. And so that you can see how this adjustable ring works, you can see it just sort of tightens up that center. And we want to create 8 half double crochets in that initial circle, so that we have those multiples of 8. So we already have 1 half double crochet, so we yarn over, we take that, holding it in place, insert our hook, yarn over again, and pull through just like we would with a single crochet. We hold that onto a stitch. So if this were a single crochet, you just wouldn't have this middle stitch right here. That's all. That's all we're adding, is that one little extra stitch. And then we yarn over and we pull through those 3 loops. So we yarn over to create that extra loop, insert our hook into that circle, making sure that we go over the tail as well, yarn over again and draw through that tail, then we yarn over and we pull through those 3 loops. So now we have 3 half double crochets. So we yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through 3 loops. I'm going to make this a little smaller. Yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over and pull through 3 loops. Yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over and pull through 3 loops. So now we have 6, because we're counting the way that we're counting these stitches is we're counting those V looking tops. The actual post of these stitches are here. Like you can see them, they have a sort of special look to them. Yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 3. Yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over and pull through 3. So there is 8 stitches, right? Or is that still just, you don't really want to count that first chain as a stitch, and I don't think we are. So now that we have our 8, 4, 6, 8, now that we have our 8, we just tug on the tail end, and we can tighten that center up really nicely. See, and we've created our circle for starting. 2, 4, 6, 8. This is our starting single crochet. So at this point, we would add our hook. No. We would add our locking stitch marker to that last stitch that we made to indicate the last stitch of the round. Now for this round, we want multiples of 8. And since it's the second round, we're going to be increasing it by putting 2 stitches into each stitch around. Okay. And I would usually work over this to prevent having to sew it in later, but if you find it too difficult as you're a beginner and everything, you don't have to. Sorry, I know it keeps getting in and out of focus. I cannot determine how this color saturation thing works. Sorry about that. And it so you can wait and sew it in later with a big yarn needle. I'm going to work over it, so that's why you'll be able to see like how it sort of disappears into the stitches as you're working over it. So for this round we're doing multiples of 2. So at the end of this round, we're going to have 16 stitches. So this is our stitch. This is our stitch we're working in right here. We're yarning over and putting it through those 2 stitches and yarning over again, drawing it through that stitch. And if we're working over this straggler, we sort of drape it so that it gets caught in between, and we yarn over and we pull through those 3 loops. Yarn over, insert back into that stitch, yarn over again and draw up that loop so you have 3 on your hook, yarn over and pull through 2. I'm thinking that working over the straggler is a little confusing, so I'm not going to do that this time. We'll just have to sew that in later. So we're yarning over. These are the 2 stitches that we're going to be working through. Here, I'll try to keep it in focus doing that. So these are the 2 stitches we're going to be working over. So inserting a hook, yarning over and pulling through, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over again, draw through those 3 loops. And then into that same stitch we just worked in, yarning over, inserting our hook, yarning over, pulling through, yarning over and pulling through 3 loops. So that's our second increase. So you'll see it's an increase because there'll be those 2 there'll be those 2 stitches in the end, and what'll happen is that at the end, if you have a miscount, you'll know because you won't have 16 stitches in the row, and you can count them by just going back and counting those V stitches like I showed you, those that are at the top of the thing. And how do we know that we're getting close to the end even though we're not counting each of these stitches? And that's because we have that stitch marker there. That's absolutely brilliant and wonderful and so helpful. So we're inserting, yarning over, pulling through, and yarning over and pulling through 3 stitches, 3 loops, and yarning over, inserting, pulling through, yarning over and pulling through 3 stitches, and now we have 16. So let's count back so that you can see whether or not you actually have 16. I'm so sorry about the focus of this video. So, okay. These guys are the stitches we're counting. This one that is usually on the hook, we do not count as a stitch since we're always using that. So we're counting back in twos. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. And there we have our second round made. So now we're going into the third round. We're going to be doing multiples of 3. We're taking this stitch marker and we're putting it into that last stitch that we made from the second round. Now we're going to be doing multiples of 3, and it is going to be multiple times. It's the third round, so it's multiples of 3 times 8. So there are 16 in the previous round. This row we should have 24 stitches at the end, and this time our increases are going to be every other stitch. So, and an increase is just when we do those 2 stitches in each stitch. So that's how we do that. So this first one is going to be a single stitch, and even though I say a single stitch, we're still doing half double crochets. So it's not, that doesn't mean that we're switching to single crochet. So 1, yarn over, insert, yarn over again, draw through, yarn over, draw through 3 loops. So now we're doing our increase. We're putting 2 into the next one. We're doing yarn over, insert, yarn over again, pull through, yarn over, pull through 3 loops, and into the same one, yarn over, insert, yarn over again, pull through, yarn over, and pull through 3 loops. So now we have 3 stitches in this new row or round. When it's in a row, like I showed you making the single crochets, we call them rows, where you then like go back and you turn your work. When it's in the round like this, we call them rounds. So that's a little bit of terminology for you that'll get very confusing, because some people also still call things that are in the round rows, and it's like, thank you for making something that is confusing more confusing. So we're just going to be doing that. So yarning over, inserting our hook, yarning over, pulling through, yarning over, pulling through 3 loops. Then in the next one is going to be the increase, yarning over, inserting, yarning over, pulling through 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through those 3 loops, yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through those 3 loops, yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over and pull through those 3 loops. It's the single, yarn over, insert, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2 loops. This is the increase, so yarn over, insert, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 3 loops, yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 3 loops. That is the single, so this is the increase, yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over and pull through 3 loops, yarn over, insert, yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through 3 loops, yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over and pull through 3 loops. Now each row should now end with an increase. There are going to be certain designs that end the other way, where it's the single. This one's ending, this one, and for all of mine in this series are going to be ending with the increase. I'm going to stop this video here because we're already at the 20-minute mark and we still have a long way to go. So look for my next part where I do the next couple of rows for multiplying 24, increasing it 32, and then also 40. All right, I'll see you in the next video.